What's up, guys? So we're here today. Me and Toretto are here to work on the bike, J-Lo. So basically today my plan is to rip the fuel pump and system out of my old tank. So when I get the new tank back from paint, hopefully later this day, I can go ahead and drop that into the new tank and throw it on the bike with the new fenders that are painted. Another thing, I did get the spark plug wires for my ignition coil relocation, so that looks a lot better. I can go ahead, I actually used a part number from an existing Harley that currently uses an ignition coil in that same spot. So the wires are a perfect fit and they're OEM. Like, I don't have to now get custom cut wires or anything. And I can let you guys know that part number so that if you want to do this, you can go ahead and order that as well. But I went with the Screaming Eagle ones too, so they're nice and fat and shouldn't lose any voltage when sending that spark to the spark plugs. But yeah, so I'll bring you along. There's a couple tutorials I found on YouTube on pulling the fuel pumps and stuff out of these tanks. None specifically like the 2016 year range, so I'll go over a couple things. It's basically, should be pretty straightforward. But yeah. Enjoy. So yeah, basically I'll start off, I'll show you the wires that I got. So that's ignition coil relocated and spark plug wires that are the proper length, or at least close to. Toretto approves of them. He thinks they're pretty cool. So see, there you go. Checking it out. Are they installed right, bud? Yeah. Just checking all the work that I did. Does it all check out? I guess it checks out. He walked away. I think that's his approval. So basically the part number I used for that, Harley part number, see if that'll zoom in there, 31965-08. I can tell you the Harley model that's from. Later in the video, I will let you know. But basically the plan is to take the tank off, I have to pop the console off, which is just loosening this bolt and unclipping a couple clips inside. We got a bolt that's actually underneath here. That Torx head comes out. There's a washer and nut on the inside of there, and then it's just the front tank mount. And then there's the fuel. This is your high pressure feed to your injectors. Basically this collar just slides up and then this pops out. I'll show you that. And then I gotta take the internals out, which actually connect to here. And then the only other plug that I should have to worry about underneath is this one, which goes up to your fuel level sensor. But other than that, it should be pretty straightforward. I'll come grab you guys when I get to something worth noting. But in other words, I'll set you up over there on the GoPro and you'll get to watch. So, enjoy.
But do you know something, baby, like some down look? Yeah, like some down look. I know one that I'm supposed to down low, like some down look. Yeah, like some down look. Yeah, like some down look. Yeah, like some down, 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 down,
So basically, I got everything disconnected from up top. I took that bolt out. I took the front bolt out up there, popped the console off. It's just draped over my bars there. This wire is connected to a couple things. I didn't feel like dismantling that. This is your, vent valve for your gas tank. Basically the fuel pump and everything's below this, but before I go ahead and pop that loose, I'm gonna need to take the tank off. I gotta do this anyways. There's this crossover tube down here. Basically my plan is these are like cinched on there, so loosen up this clamp. I have a vacuum line cap that I plan on sticking over top of this side and then just letting this drain into a gas can. So hopefully that'll work without me dumping too much fuel everywhere. Other than that, then it'll just be disconnecting the pressure line, and then the tank should be ready to pull off, and then I can pull everything out of the tank while it's off the bike, and then she'll be completely tinless for a little bit, hopefully. Like I said, I'm kind of expecting my painted parts to be back to me today, but if they're not, then they're back to me tomorrow, and I put it all back together tomorrow, but follow along.
But do you know something, baby? Lights on down low. Yeah, lights on down low. I can go one and I'm closer down low. Lights on down low. Yeah, lights on down low. Yeah, lights on down low. Yeah, lights on down, down, down,
All right, well, there it is. Tank is off. basically went as planned. I mean, the vacuum line worked on the one side, but luckily right now gas is pretty cheap, so I only lost maybe $1 or so of fuel, if that. But yeah, now I'll be able to reroute the wire for the ignition coil relocation pretty much right into there. Might throw a zip tie on there and make that a little cleaner. That's no tank on her, so pretty much now I just gotta take everything out of this guy. I'm letting it drip dry a little bit more. I had to open the door to the garage so that I let all these fumes out. I'll grab you guys again when I'm pulling everything out of the tank, but that was pretty easy. Something I haven't done yet and I've been kind of dreading to do, so I surprised myself with how easy it was, so I'm glad I finally did it.
Baby, baby. But do you know something, baby, like some down low? Yeah, like some down low. I can go one and I'm so down low. Like some down low. Yeah, like some down low. Yeah, like some down low. Yeah, like some down, 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 down,
Internals of this tank out here. There's the fuel pump, regulator, the fuel level sending unit, the top plate, the vent, and then that's the bottom quick connect for the high pressure line to the injectors. And basically here's how I routed the ignition coil relocation harness up through here, through the factory wire loom, and then down behind this, and then I zip tied it here so it stays off the cylinder head. I painted the motor mount kind of makes it look cleaner instead of the I don't know what you would call it, kind of a corroded looking metal that they had there. I don't know if I'll keep the gold or not. It was just I didn't have any black paint on me and didn't feel like running out, but that's it. I mean, it wasn't too hard to figure out how to get this out. Basically, first thing I had to do was disconnect these wiring harness from the bottom here. This one just unclips like normal. This one you actually gotta pull a tab up and get it out of that metal clip here, and you can't forget about this ground one too, and that just gives you enough slack to be able to get to this little tab that actually locks in place right into here. And then that allows you to slide the fuel pump out, which then gives you enough slack to get the fuel level sending unit, which also has like a clip that clips in down the side here. You can feel a channel. You're kind of blind getting it out of there, but you just pull the tab and it slides right up. And then you basically just disconnect this, which push these two tabs in, not the ones up here, just the ones closest to this neck, and that pops right out. Then there's this guy up front here, this hose that mounts to the bottom of the plate, which you got to disconnect that with the pressure clamp so you can get enough slack to get it up. But that basically just bolts down with this nut and holds itself up in there. And then to get this guy out that goes on the bottom here, you just get a wrench. I believe it was 7/8 wrench, and you break that loose, pull that out the top, and then so that's like the first thing that you put in there, so that's up there to connect. And then this guy, this connector is the bottom of the fuel level or fuel gauge. So I'm getting a new one of these down the road, so I might kind of just snip that and then push this in for now. I think I'm gonna go with the flush mount ones. I just got to order them from Harley and have them delivered, and then basically I'll be able to just lift the tank up after I rewire that thing and click it into here, and then everything will be all hooked up and done. So hopefully this weekend I will be out riding, and there will be a video up for Saturday of the paint reveal. So if you're interested in seeing what color the paint's gonna be, stay tuned for that. And so the wires, spark plug wires that I used are actually, you can get the ones for the Softail breakout, or you can get the ones for the Rocker C, and they will fit perfect with the length and everything for the ignition coil relocation. I gave you the part number. That's the bike that they came off of, so you can Google that and see if you can find better options. But like I said, these spark plug wires are pretty heavy duty. They were only 30 bucks. So then I think basically that's going to be it for today's video. Basically we got the tank off, which was pretty easy. I was kind of concerned about it. I've never pulled the tank off of here before, so I didn't know how much in detail it was going to be. I mean, we did lose some fuel, but it's all right. I was able to get enough in a can that I'll be able to start the bike up again and take her to the gas station, and gas is cheap right now, so didn't really lose money and not disappointed about that. Other than that, everything came out of the tank pretty easy. It's easy to figure out for the first time with that. Like I said, there were a couple videos online. I was gonna have a maybe more in-depth video, but the batteries for the GoPro died, so I couldn't get you a closer view at the same time as recording that. So like I said, if you want to see the color, I said Saturday's video will probably be the color reveal. You might be able to see it on Instagram or TikTok first, but that's up to you guys. If you follow on there, you just type in the same name up top and you will find my social medias. Other than that, if you like the video, like it. If you think I did something stupid, or you want to ask questions about like what relocation kit I used or anything more specific about the fuel pump thing, go ahead and comment. And then if you want to watch where this thing goes, then subscribe, because I still have yet even more things to put on once the painted parts are put back on too. So I'm having a good time. Hope you guys are having a good time, and I'll see you on Saturday.